20 badges gleamed under the backyard lights. Margaret's face drained of color, her smugness evaporating. The neighborhood's self-appointed queen had just called 911 on my housewarming party, claiming it was a chaotic disturbance. She had no idea I was the new police chief, and every guest was from my department. For weeks, she'd bombarded me with violation notices, threats, and thinly veiled prejudice. Now, her reign of intimidation was about to implode in the most humiliating way possible. This is the story of how justice cornered a power-hungry HOA tyrant, and the fiery fallout that followed. Stick around, the karma is worth every second. I clawed my way up the ranks of Oak Ridge City Police Department for 12 years. As a first-generation American, every promotion was a nod to my parents' sacrifices. Last month, I became police chief, and my first move was to plant roots. After years in a shoebox apartment, I bought a charming 2-story home in Oak Ridge Meadows, cream siding, green shutters, and a porch perfect for morning coffee. It was modest but mine, the first home I'd ever owned. Moving day had me buzzing, hauling boxes and picturing family photos on the walls. That's when I spotted a woman striding toward me, clutching a thick binder like a weapon. Mid-50s, sharp brunette bob, and an air of unchallenged authority, she was trouble in heels. "I'm Margaret Sullivan, president of the Oak Ridge Meadows HOA," she announced, skipping pleasantries. "You're moving in, so let's review the rules." She launched into a tirade about lawn height, trash bins, parking, noise, and paint colors, barely breathing. When I mentioned I was the new police chief, her eyes narrowed. "You don't look like a cop," she said, her tone dripping with doubt. "What department again?" I repeated myself, keeping it polite despite her skepticism. Instead of respect, she looked irritated, as if my job was a personal affront. "This is a refined community," she snapped. "We're particular about who lives here. I'll need your purchase documents to verify everything." I declined, citing that no such rule existed. Her lips thinned, and she stormed off, binder snapping shut. My neighbor, Henry Carter, a warm-eyed retiree, ambled over. "Met the neighborhood dictator, huh?" he said with a wry grin. "Watch your back. Margaret's driven out 4 families in 3 years. She decides who belongs." He warned me to document everything. That night, an HOA email demanded I repaint my porch, freshly done before I bought the house, because its shade wasn't. Approved. Irritation flared, but I stayed calm. Then I learned about the family she'd harassed into leaving, and I knew this wasn't just overzealous rule-keeping. This was war. Over 2 weeks, Margaret buried me in absurd violations: grass too tall by half an inch, bins out 10 minutes late, an unapproved welcome mat, a mailbox in the wrong black. Each came with fines and deadlines, her signature scrawled like a taunt. I documented every notice, took photos, and saved emails. Henry filled me in. Margaret, widowed by a rich entrepreneur, lived off his fortune and ruled the HOA with an iron fist. She patrolled daily, clipboard in hand, targeting those she disliked while ignoring her allies' violations. Her clash with Henry started when she demanded he rip out his late wife's lilacs, claiming they weren't regulation. He refused, and the fines began. Tension spiked when I planted a small police flag in my garden, a gift from my department. The next morning, a violation notice called it unauthorized signage. The HOA bylaws had no such rule, just a vague, excessive decoration clause. Worse, a neighbor revealed Margaret was spreading rumors, warning others I'd ruin the neighborhood. Then Dr. Laura Bennett, a cardiologist living nearby, visited me after dark, nervous. "Margaret tried to block us from buying here," she whispered. "Said we'd disrupt harmony. When that failed, she rejected our house paint 4 times. Laura revealed Margaret's blacklist: residents harassed until they sold, their homes snatched up by her cronies at bargain prices. Her husband, a property lawyer, had tracked sales. Neighborhood values dropped 10% in 4 years, despite Margaret's standards. Worse, she pocketed consulting fees from buyers, profiting off her harassment. The breaking point came with a certified letter fining me $300 for multiple violations and hinting I didn't fit Oak Ridge's lifestyle. The prejudice was blatant, and it lit a fire in me. I called my tech-savvy colleague, Alex Rivera, to install discreet HD cameras around my property. "If she's sneaking around, we'll catch her," he said. That night, my phone pinged at 2:23 a.m. Footage showed Margaret skulking in my yard, flashlight in hand, photographing my patio and measuring my fence. Trespassing. I saved the video and called my lawyer friend, Sarah Coleman. "This is harassment," she confirmed. "Some of her rules aren't even in the HOA covenant." Keep gathering evidence. I quietly met with residents, who shared chilling stories: a Latino family fined for cooking smells, a widow cited for her grandkids' visits, a black couple harassed over lawn decor until they sold at a loss. Margaret's bias was clear, masked as standards. When she fined me for overbright porch lights, I demanded meeting minutes proving these rules were voted on. Her response? She showed up at my door, furious, unaware that my colleague Captain James Harper was there. "Margaret, meet Captain Harper, my supervisor," I said. Her confidence wavered as James eyed her like a suspect. After she left, he chuckled. "She fined my daughter for parking too long last Easter." Small world. Digging into HOA finances, I found vague expenses, missing receipts, and hefty administrative fees paid to Margaret. She escalated, threatening to sue me for hostile behavior and hinting she'd call my department. My colleagues laughed it off. I planned a housewarming party, inviting neighbors, except Margaret, and my department, plus city auditors and housing officials. This wasn't just a party, it was a reckoning. I met ex-treasurer Robert Ellis, who revealed Margaret's embezzlement. She'd siphoned $60,000 for home upgrades, vacations, and a new SUV, disguised as HOA expenses. Robert's records showed inflated contracts to her late husband's allies, like $20,000 for tree removal worth $10,000. The HOA's $130,000 reserve had dwindled to $25,000 despite raised dues. At an HOA meeting, I questioned a $45,000 landscaping expense with no visible results. Margaret stammered, deflecting, but neighbors started whispering. Board Secretary Emily Gwynn, fed up with Margaret's ethics, shared altered minutes and fake invoices proving $55,000 in theft. Margaret grew paranoid, spying on my house. The party loomed. She taped a fake event violation to my door and had her paralegal friends send a baseless legal threat. My cameras caught her salting my lawn the night before. Party day, she confronted me, recorded. "I've removed 4 families who didn't comply. I'll do the same to you, badge or no badge." She'd slipped, admitting harassment. The party was perfect: empanadas, barbecue, string lights, and low music. Neighbors mingled with plainclothes cops. Margaret paced her yard, snapping photos. At 8:45 p.m., she called 911, alleging a loud, drug-fueled disturbance. I texted dispatch to let it play out. She stormed my door, triumphant. "I've called the police." "They'll shut this down." I smiled. "They're already here, Margaret." In the backyard, 20 cops flashed badges. Captain Harper stepped up. "Your 911 call is logged as false. No disturbance here." Margaret froze. Sarah approached. "Your harassment violates state law." "We have evidence." I handed out financial records, exposing her theft. Emily revealed forged documents. Neighbors shared stories of her abuse. Margaret's denials faltered as I played her recorded admission. "This is a 3-week investigation," I said. "The DA's probing your finances. Detectives would search her records on Monday." She stumbled away, defeated. By Wednesday, she faced charges for embezzlement and fraud, surrendered her passport, and was banned from contacting residents. The HOA ousted her, with Emily as interim president. I joined the board, and we scrapped Margaret's fake rules, set up transparent finances, and started mediation for disputes. Margaret took a plea deal, restitution, probation, and service. Her social circle shunned her, and she sold her house, vanishing quietly. Oakridge Meadows bloomed. A potluck celebrated our diversity, and property values rose. At our first community day, Henry handed me lemonade. "From fear to this," he said, nodding at laughing kids. "You uprooted the weed." Justice didn't just punish Margaret, it rebuilt our home. What do you think? Was the party trap too harsh, or did Margaret deserve it? Share your thoughts below, especially on using stings like this to expose bad behavior. Hit like, subscribe, and let's debate in the comments.